lots of good things happening, and I've kind of put some scenarios together today, and they're all good. That it's just stuff that is out there that they're throwing out there as comms that we're picking up on. We have patriots all around the world. I say yes, I understand. I'm a little bit concerned with all these data centers. I am, but I think it might be for our own safety, and as long as it stays, the data centers stay under this, this shell of the Golden Dome. I think I think it's there for our protection. But I could be debating a little bit, which I don't want to debate with Gene Decode with, right? He's not comfortable with it, so I have to take very serious concern based on what he said, right? He's not totally against it. He's just a little concerned. He wants to know more. He wants to get more detail on what's happening. So, because I guess he knows the magnitude of where this data center stuff can go, or AI, I guess. They could be fusion centers. Good. We're not going to know for sure because we're not getting any intel out on it. Yeah. Well, the Golden Dome, yes, the Golden Dome will be for the whole planet. Yeah. The Iran situation right now is the last chess piece on the board. And once that gets knocked off, then you're going to see things. You're probably going to see EBS and bank closures and everything else go down because the whole system has to come down. It's the whole dirty, filthy, corrupt, rotten system needs to come down, and but everybody has to be signing on to the. It's not about the petrodollar; it's about the new gold-backed standard currencies. That's what everybody's trying to sign on for. And of course, Iran's trying to go about their own way of doing it because they're corrupt. And I just a little note out of the Philippines. They're the Filipinos, and that's why I love these people so much. And I've known this for years and years. Back when I first got there in 1990, I was working as a structural engineer out of Japan. And, you're only allowed to stay 30 days inside Japan back in those days. Then you'd have to either fly out or just go home after the 30-day work visa. But of course, I would, because I'd have longer extended contracts, I'd just go fly out to either Shanghai or South Korea over to Seoul, do a weekend over there, and then come back and then, have my passport checked. But this one time I said, well, the Philippines is only an extra 2-hour flight. Let's just go check this out. Fell in love with it, fell in love with the people. And when I got there, I felt it was like a different world. And it was. I mean, as soon as I got off the plane and you could smell the heat and the moisture and just the whole tropical scent of the Philippines. It was that when you first get off the plane is overwhelming. But once you get this beautiful country in your blood and the people in your blood, you can't get it out. Anyways, that being said, I knew the Filipino was very politically involved in and they're sick and tired of the corruption that's going on. They just, are forming a referendum by the people, for the people, to put any corrupt politician that has been stealing money off the people up against the firing squad, which will be executed by the NPN. And I've been as soon as I heard about that, I've been kind of diving into it a little bit, and they're very serious about it. So, this means that, and I don't know if that's going to go back, be retroactive. I'm not sure. But they are getting very serious about this. And the people are telling the PNP, Philippine National Police, that if you don't follow the people's law, then you'll be standing up in front of the firing squad as well. So very, very progressive news. It's a delight to hear that stuff, that the Filipinos finally getting fed up with it. and they're coming onto the streets, and you do not want the Filipino on the streets because there's 110 million of them, and as much as they worship God and Jesus Christ, they still pack guns, all of them. They have probably just as many guns, if not more. Well, probably not as many guns, but they are concentrated as much as the United States. The Filipino would not be easy to invade because everybody's got a weapon. And there's 110 million of them. So do the math on that one. That's why I live there. Their constitution in Canada, I feel a cloud or a curtain over us, like it's the Iron Curtain. Okay, let's roll. Intel, yes. Well, I mean, the Cuba people right now are also rising up in Cuba right now, and operators, and of course their militaries that are, like sheep following their corrupt leadership under Raul Castro, which is the brother of Fidel, the younger brother of Fidel, and of course the uncle of baby Castro Trudeau. They are threatening to attack Guantanamo Bay and saying that it's not the United States territory. Listen, just to make it all clear, the United States has been paying a lease on that strip of land since 1903. There has been never any given date on when that lease is up, because it was basically the people or whoever it was back in those days wanted that steady income coming in with the U.S. Dollar. Okay, so that's still inactive or still active, and that territory, as long as they have that lease on it, it's their property. It's the U.S. property. So if they think for 1 minute that they can pull the wool over the people's eyes by saying it's Cuban land, we want you off of it, they're going to be probably a couple of flat tops sitting off the coast of Cuba, keeping an eye on that situation. Now, the COMEX, again, going back to the metals, the COMEX has to, they have to, shit or get off the pot. Because their contracts that they're supposed to be meeting, and to turn their contracts into physical silver is not going to happen. So we're about to see a financial tsunami crash in that department. I'm expecting. There's a lot of things that are hinging out there, but I'm seeing $300 to begin with, $300 silver by summertime, which is June next month, July next month. That's what I'm seeing. Just by all the faculties being put together, rounded up, put together, right? Okay, so moving on, let's just go back here a bit to make sure I got everything, because I date these things. And, okay, here we go. We're almost there. Now, I'm going to have to spell it out. Lizards. You know what I'm talking about. They are absolutely throwing everything at us right now because they know this is it. They know when they get caught, it's going to be purgatory. Okay, they know that when they get caught, so they just have everything left on the shelf in their arsenal. They're throwing it at us. Okay, and quite frankly, it's not enough, because we've been fighting this battle and this onslaught of assaults and destruction against humanity since 2016. Actually, since 2001, 9/11. That's when it all started. The attacks on the United States and all the things in right now. And like I said, they have apparently through Jaco, what he says, that They have Iranian sleeper cells throughout the United States. Kids that were, this goes back to when they kidnapped all the Americans out of the U.S. Embassy back in what was it, 70s, 80s? Okay, so those kids and those people that had happened been over there have, been brainwashed, born and raised in the United States as Iranian immigrants or migrants or whatever the case, because they're anchor babies, have been basically brainwashed to follow the Ayatollah. Okay, but a lot of them are saying, what was very, very strategic in their days, and back in 20 years ago, and how they were always arms pumped up, being for the regime that was in Iran. They're starting to say, hey, listen, I'm not going to sacrifice my life now. So that kind of whole situation is kind of blowing up in their face, right? Yes, I love the Philippine culture and the people. Yeah. I mean, listen, all their fruits and vegetables on in the farms, and they come in, they load up their things grow so fast down there. They have 2 or 3 crops every season. There's not even a season. They have a bit of a rainy season and then a hot season, and it's just tropical. And so they have in a fiscal cycle of a year or 12 months, whatever they want to call it, they'll have three or even 4 harvests. Okay. So there's always food, organic foods, and like I said before, it's not the cauliflower that is big blown up and it's full of GMO, and they got big strawberries like this. No, everything's very, very tiny and whatever, because it's all done naturally. So I mean, you'll have a broccoli that big, you'll have cauliflower this big. Okay, and that's the way it should be. Those are baby shoots that are coming out, and they will harvest them right away. So everything is getting the great nutrients that you need, and I just feel so much healthier when after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I feel like I've been cleansed out naturally. What about Israel? Well, yes, they're saving that for last. Iran right now, basically when Iran comes down, Israel will go down. So basically the same time. 17 said they were being saved for last. Well, Iran, they're all in a nutshell. We're like, this is the end of the end, so to speak. I believe how this, how I think it's going to go. Okay, it would be the bonds people will be doing it, getting their money and cashing all that in covertly, because everybody's going to be under an NDA with non-disclosure agreement. They'll have to sign that. It will be a military NDA. For 30, 60, 90 days, who knows how that's going to last. But you cannot say anything, or it could jeopardize the money that you're getting, okay? So loose lips sink ships. Remember that. Also, the Tier 4B, I believe, is going to be kicked off pretty quick. Now, I went down, I think it was Friday, and checked with my bank to see if they were still able to sell Vietnamese dong. And it's still on the... It's still on the computer, and I was able to buy. So I bought $100 worth, which is about 1.7 point some odd million dollar dong for $100. Now that's Canadian, right? It'd be more if it was American. Yeah, well, like I said, Israel is tied up in the same scenario. Like let's jump into this a little bit. BB is 2.0. He was taken out long, long time ago. And as you maybe see through your divine research that divine people out there have been doing, you're going to see, you will have seen, Trump in many different forms of walking, doing his thing and whatever. But there's about 7 or 8 Trumps. And I think 2 were assassinated, 2 clones or whatever they were assassinated, that the deep state claims or whatever. But, you have to, everybody gets, I know it's hard to do, but everybody gets wrapped up in the movie that's happening. And what our job is to do is basically step out of the movie, watch it play out. Do not, physically or mentally get engaged in it. Okay? This is for the sleepers to wake up. Everything out there is for the sleepers. Now, that being said, they have got it's kind of like a Schumann resonance. And this new calculation thing that they're able to do, I think it's part of the quantum financial system, or the data that's operating it, basically like the Schumann resonance, is saying that there is about 200 to 300 people per minute waking up. Now, every 60 seconds, that's 200 or 300 people. You say, well, God, that's never going to get done. But if you time 60 by 200, that's 12,000 people per hour waking up. So you times that by 24. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? It is moving very fast. Okay, so for every hour that goes by, night and day, there's 12 to 14,000 people waking up on this planet. That's exactly. I think we're on cue. We're on time. And yes, there might be, when you go down to the old coffee shop, and I just can't sit with the old guys, right? I just cannot sit with them because they are too brain dead for me. They just talk about stupid shit. And I have a higher, I don't have any tolerance for that. And I have a higher, I'm not going to say I have a higher IQ. I just have a higher awareness of what's going on and more things and more important things that we should be talking about. Maxwell is one of the McCain's dinner guests. Oh, yeah, in Portugal. That's part of the movie. It's to wake up. Like I said, we should be the ones in the audience with the popcorn. And I know if you're, let's move out of the popcorn and maybe have another type of menu going. But we should just be in the audience watching the show and waiting for all this stuff to happen. Like, we are so far ahead of this game just because we're awake of what's going on. And, this thing here with that bald guy with the mask and his bottom side was open here. I mean, that was done intentionally to try to wake up and every time they do that, it wakes up, millions of more people saying, hey, what's this all about? Why is this guy wearing a mask now, eh? They're starting to question everything, right? Okay. Bird flu, drones, ticks, media. That's what they're throwing at us right now. So don't get yourself in a tither or, diapers in a knot, anything like that, because of what's going on. Okay. A lot of this is just show. Now, I don't know about the tick thing is concerning. But let's see how this plays out. Anytime they're doing all this shit, they're just exposing themselves, and they are being arrested, and they are going straight to the YMCA. Okay, this isn't the train station anymore. They're going right straight to the YMCA, and it's going to be a very, very short fuse when they get there. Okay, these Solus demonics have been controlling. Now, this is why it's taking so long. Okay, these LIZ, okay, ARDS, okay, have been controlling this planet for over 10,000 years. Okay, they have built a web on millions of different levels of our society, right from top leadership of countries and states, right down to the garbage man that picks up the garbage on the street. Nothing taken away from the garbage man. That's a very important role. But what I'm saying is that these LIZ, ARDS, okay, and it's going to take a while to get this thing cleaned out. Okay, now they have been taking all the top leadership down now. Okay, we're watching and they have, those top leadership and maybe 5 layers down in each country has already been taken over. Okay, they've been taken down, and these these actors have been put into place to wake up the country itself. Okay, they're still performing their same bullshit. And of course, you've seen where a perfect example is about the Cubans and the Cuban freedom fighters. And that is everybody. Their kids are out on the street and they're not just protesting, they're going right into the parliaments and their these Congress homes and everything else and burning them down. And these Congress people and leaderships and whatever, they're on the run. They're on the run in Cuba. And the Philippines is starting to, you do not want to get that nation up in arms. And I'll tell you right now, I was around when when Ferdinand Marcos and his crazy wife, the shoe woman, had to leave and escape the palace in a helicopter, okay, in the Reagan years. I saw it. And they fled to Hawaii with all the stolen riches and everything else. Now, him and Reagan, Ferdinand and Reagan were pretty good people, and Reagan said he was a very, very wise man. Obviously, he wasn't that wise because but he was a thief. I don't care how smart you are, and if you're a thief and a liar, you're a thief and a liar. That's it. And God, you're going to pay. You're going to have to answer some very, very tough questions to God. Okay. Because you will have to answer those questions. There is going to be a judgment day on everybody out there that has done anything wrong or harm to humanity. End of story. Nobody is above, all these man-made laws. And I can get into religion, whatever, all this other stuff, and say some derogatory stuff that would really upset a lot of people that follow the Bible and all this other stuff. I'm going to leave that on the shelf, okay, and I'm going to wait for other people to talk about it. But I'm a spiritual being. I'm a man who is free, okay? God has, by me having this spiritual connection with God, allows me to be free, and my own temple is my own destiny. I am the one that judges. I am the one that can walk free as long as I'm not out there harming anybody else. And everybody else out there that claims the same thing is also free, okay? You're free from this man-made matrix that is going on here that means absolutely nothing, okay? Because if they are telling you or trying to intimidate you to do harm to other people, you are doing the LIZARDS work, okay? You're doing their work, and you don't want to do that, okay?